Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey there, this is Mike, and I play Malphaedor on A Fool's Quest. Before we begin, I just wanted to say thank you for listening and enjoying these adventures with us. The podcast community out there is really pretty amazing, and we'd like to take a moment right now to salute our good friends over at Microphones and Monsters. Go check them out.
We were actually, me and my friend here.
He points to a cat.
Oh, you're friends with a cat?
Yes, he's one of those Dreamlands cats. So, he's more than a cat.
Yes, and he is very lucky to consider myself his friend.
What did he say?
He said that I was lucky to consider myself his friend.
Oh, okay.
I do feel that way.
Okay.
I don't have too many friends.
You really aren't that bright, are you?
No.
Hey, it's me, Adam, the DM over at Microphones and Monsters. You just got done listening to a short clip from our show. Microphones and Monsters is a Cthulhu Mythos 5th edition actual play podcast. We ask you to join us every week, Monday and Friday. You can find us on your favorite podcatcher, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find all of our links at microphonesandmonsters.com.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And now, back to the show. Background ambience brought to you in part by Midnight Syndicate, the perfect musical accompaniment for the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Friends, gamers, nerds of all flavors, lend us your ears. Welcome to the second season of A Fool's Quest. Previously, the Fools meet up with Mew Tanee, the contact for the local GAG-ME chapter, to discuss guild business. While there, Malphaedor discovered an interesting and mysterious book. The ever-creative Ingvald crafted his newest brew, named Catruffled, while Hobbes pulled off an impressive disappearing act. Mew Tanee then provided the Fools with horses to carry the heroes through the last leg of their journey to Tavir. Now, let's join Hobbes, the Tabaxi Ranger, Malphaedor, the Aasimar Paladin, and Dwarven Brewmaster Ingvald Porter Altbeir, as they band together in their continued pursuit of A Fool's Quest.
Ingvald asks Malphaedor, do we know where the cat is at?
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen the little furball.
That's the problem.
I imagine, like most animals, he'll come back around when he wants to.
We don't typically allow animals inside the outpost. I have a very terrible allergy to animals. Most animals.
Well, the cat is a companion of ours. He does have a pet dog.
Oh,
look over at
okay.
Look over at Malphaedor. She hasn't sneezed, so he's outside. Where?
Where was the last time you sneezed?
Have you felt hives?
Okay, so side note, you guys did still want to talk to the judge because you wanted him to send reinforcements down to down to Aurelius.
Still gotta find the cat before we get to this.
I'm thinking the cat will find us.
Fair enough. Fuck off from the cat. I just don't feel like having to sneak up and do
the
something
cat.
stupid.
We didn't drag the cat along with us. The cat's just kind of tagging along.
Yeah.
So if it wanders off
But he has a
periodically.
cloak. It's also a problem.
Hey, that's his problem.
Fair. If he doesn't show up, I'm telling him I'm gonna kill the cat. Cool. So
I'm not going to look at it as a problem until I'm told by someone higher up than I am that it's a problem.
Fair. I'm pretty short.
Does Macy know how to use any kind of weaponry, like a bow or anything like that?
So Ingvald's talking to Mew about the cat and the dog and trying to explain why that's even the thing. He's kind of fumbling over words because he hates that it's a thing anyway.
Yeah, at the same time I'm like grabbing over, putting it up against Macy. Oh my!
We found this cat. I don't like the cat. The cat likes us. It's hard to deal with. He's got stuff I don't want to get away with.
Kind of a stray we took in.
Yeah.
You don't mention anything about him wearing the...
No.
Yeah.
I say stuff.
Stuff.
He's got things I want.
And while you're talking to him, or while Ingvald's talking to Mew, Mal, you're talking to Macy, and she was like, I've had some training with a bow, but mostly only for hunting, and I do know how to clean a kill, so I'm familiar with a hunting dagger.
Well, make sure we get her a bow and move her arrows in.
Yeah. If you'd like as well, I would, if I'm going to be taking these daggers, I'd like to stop by the merchant's place before we go and pick up a whetstone.
Very good.
All right. So she...
I'll actually give her, an extra 5 gold. I recommend that she get a explorer's pack.
Okay. Yep. So she goes and does that. So she gets a bedroll, explorer's pack, and whetstone.
Like basic starting gear.
Yep. A couple of torches because she's a human and she can't see in the dark.
Oh yeah, she's the only one of us that can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys will be taking her.
Well, I'm thinking maybe. Somebody's going to have to stay back at the campsite and keep the fire going and keep the horses fed.
Mew grabs the rations for you guys, bids you farewell. She had, while you guys were sitting there talking and figuring stuff out, she sat down and wrote up a second letter from the parchment, one that she would take down to the docks and have a shipmate take to over to Cheddar. So she says goodbye to you guys, and
I bid her farewell and said, "Well, recommend that before we bed for the night, we go find the judge. If she could give us directions to where we can find him, that would be appreciated."
The court offices are 2 buildings down and 1 block up. But before you go, will you please sign the journal saying that you were here on this date and put your names and signatures?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Very well.
I signed fairly illegibly. I am still drunk.
My signature is just gigantic, flowy, like a true aristocrat.
Mine is my initials, IPA, but it's very sloppy cursive.
He writes it in dwarf.
Oh, I do write sloppy dwarven. Even worse.
And there's just a cat's paw.
No, he's still not there.
Hobbes isn't there.
I know.
Hobbes is still missing.
That'd be great though.
Meow.
Single bean.
Okay. And so you guys leave.
Yep. Off to Simpleton's.
So you guys walk out. You are about... Well, you walk north of the building, and Mew walks south towards the docks. And as you're probably about 20 paces away from the building, Hobbes comes out of nowhere with Kevin.
Oh, I found you guys. I was right behind you, and then somebody bumped into me. I got turned around. You disappeared. Anyways, I found the elf Nariah that you were looking for. It's over this way. I'll just lead them to.
All right. Is it roughly the same direction we're headed?
Yep.
I immediately become more suspicious of us. Just give him a rough dwarven squint.
And I just marvel, says, "You are quite stealthy."
I don't know what you're talking. I mean, I was right behind you, like I said, and then somebody bumped into me, and I got turned around, and you disappeared. You guys are pretty stealthy, because I've been looking for you guys for like 2 hours, and I found Nariah, but I couldn't find you guys.
For someone who's not blessed with feline prowess, I can appreciate your...
What, you mean purse?
Yes. Yeah.
He didn't take the pun in time, so I take it.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
It's purr for the course.
Impressive.
Guys, stop it right meow.
Okay, so we are following Hobbes to where...
Yes.
The place you're probably already going.
He doesn't
but
get distracted again and take us off to the fish market.
So Hobbes knows... so it's a pretty big building, but he knows right where to go to get to Nariah's office. So he walks you guys right up to there and essentially points to the door and says,
"All right."
Yeah, it's an outside entrance that takes you right into a hallway, but the first door is Nariah's door, and it's not the main office entrance to the government building. It is like a side, seeming possibly an employee entrance or a guard entrance or whatever, but it's open to you. You can just walk right in. So he walks in and points to the door.
Knock on the door.
After a few seconds, the door opens slightly, and you see an elven woman who is very scarred up. So she's got a scar on her face, a scar on her neck. She's wearing a short sleeve, tunic today. You know, she's not in full garb because she's not out patrolling right now. But she's got scars on her arms, both of her arms. She's a very, she's an elven soldier that looks like an elven. Yeah. So, you from what you've seen of the city, you can't imagine that it all happened here. So you also kind of operate under the assumption that she's pretty well traveled and older for an elf. But she looks at you and she says, "What can I help you with?"
You must be Nariah Bloomingbud.
I certainly am. It is my door you're knocking on.
Yes. We seek an audience with Branden Simpleton.
Pertaining to what?
We are emissaries of GAG-ME. And we wish to inquire about some reinforcements for a nearby town.
Okay. Let me see your cloaks. She only has the door cracked open, so she couldn't,
I
flourish my cloak really fancy. Very proud of it.
And you see her relax quite a bit, and she opens the door the rest of the way, and you see she was holding a very large crossbow that was loaded in her hand, and she disarms the trigger. She lets it loose, and then she leans it back up against the wall, and she's like, "It's very nice to see you. Yes, I'll take you to Branden immediately."
Thank you. Much appreciated.
She walks right by you guys, splits you, so you guys kind of step out of her way, and she goes down the hallway, about 4 doors, takes a right into another hallway, and then takes you to a big banquet area. And Branden is in there eating and talking to a table full of what look to be merchant leads or something along those lines. So the rest of the table get up and they walk away, and Branden gets a look of concern on his face, and he goes, "What's wrong?"
Well met, Your Honor.
Well met.
We have recently been traveling through the area around Relayus. It seems that the town was befallen by bandits of some sort. We managed to liberate the town of its invaders, but they've suffered many losses. They are mere peasants and are unable to defend themselves in their current state. They're very weak, and most of their menfolk were either killed or worse. So we thought that perhaps you could arrange for some sort of garrison to be temporarily stationed with them.
Branden looks up across the table over to Nariah, and Nariah actually answers for him and says, "My lord, we will send a squad out immediately that will take care of this. Will you recount for me all of the details of what you saw while you were there?"
Of course.
Sweet. So you guys recount it to the best of your knowledge. You tell his story. She asks a lot of questions that help you remember certain things, like specifically the way the city was, the way the town was, rather, where things were at. She asks about the survivors, what kind of state some of the different people were in, and then she turns to go, sends some orders. So she speaks to a couple of guards who are at the door, and then they leave, and she walks back over to the table with you guys. And Branden says, would you like that we dispatch a message for you over to the Cheddar GAG-ME group?
We've already dispatched a missive.
Very good. Very good.
2, as a matter of fact.
That's...
Can never be too sure.
Very smart. Well then, is there anything else that you would like from us at this point?
Well, now that we know that the people of Relayus are in good hands, so to speak, we'll carry on to Tavir.
Okay. And you said you do have horses and...
Yes.
Goods. Okay. We will wish you the best luck on your journey. On your way out, our men will escort you as far as the Taviran jungle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I pour a mug of beer from my new truffle beer and leave it on the table for whatever his name was.
Okay.
Simpleton.
Yeah,
Simpleton?
For Simpleton.
Branden Simpleton.
And thank you, sir, for your kindness. Enjoy one on me. And then I go to leave.
Okay.
Just turn around and walk away. I don't even know if they're walking. I just turn and leave.
As you guys go to walk out the room, Nariah says, let me escort you, please. I believe you left something in my chamber. And she starts to walk out the door.
I follow.
It wasn't Hobbes, was it?
No,
Is he behind us?
I'm with you.
You never know at this point.
Is there puking in her shoes or something?
We're definitely getting killed. He pissed her off.
All right, so she takes you guys in there into her chamber, and she shuts the door behind you. And she says, this Whispers that you spoke of, how did he get out of the location so quickly after he murdered your friends?
It appeared to be teleportation magic he used on us, but
He was accompanied by several casters of some sort with magics that I am not familiar with. Myself and my companion were transported to a cell, God knows where. But after a short time, we returned. And as I recounted, when we returned, I have already described the carnage we returned to see.
She goes over to a desk and opens up looks like a journal of some sort, almost like a binder, and she starts flipping through a couple things, and she says, I am going to send somebody after him. I will let you know what I come up with after that. I'm going to send one of my best men to track him down.
Wish him well. His Whispers seems quite adept at slipping through fingers.
I'm sending a teleporter.
That'll be appropriate.
Can he teleport us first?
He can only teleport himself.
Oh.
But what of his master?
I'm not sure as much about him. That's more GAG-ME than anything. And the jurisdiction of somebody, especially outside of Tavir, is going to fall to GAG-ME. Whispers was not GAG-ME, though, so if he committed crimes within Tavir, he's our jurisdiction as much as anyone's.
Can't deny our want to track down this Duché if he is the one giving the marching orders to Whispers.
And your friend Mikey, where did you say he grew up?
God.
In the swamps to the west.
Axebite. In the swamps.
Of all of us, you're supposed to answer first. I
didn't know. Hobbes didn't know Mikey.
No.
Axebite. I'll also dispatch a runner to tell his family. I don't know how much you know about the turtle kind, but when one of their kind is murdered, the others typically look for some kind of retribution.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here come his 3 brothers. And a weird fucking rat.
Yay, NPCs.
Go.
All right.
Na turtles. I don't know the Ninja Turtle theme songs. I couldn't go for that one. I did
Go
Batman.
Ninja, go Ninja, go.
She's chanting that the whole time.
She said, finally, do any of you know the alarm spell?
No.
Nope.
Can any of you use a magic item if I give you a scroll?
Yeah.
No.
I know some spells, mostly offensive, and
Now,
to help me
in
hunt.
5th edition, do they differentiate? If it's on a scroll, do you have to be able to cast that type of magic, whether it's like cleric or wizard? Or...
I think you just have to be able to cast.
Well, no, because I can cast healing scrolls. But that's only
if it does.
Pretty sure I can cast healing scrolls, and I'm not a cleric, so. If
I'll
not,
have to look it up.
If not, I have a very useless scroll in my hands that I'm gonna have to sell.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be that.
I don't
class.
think so. I've
never played it as you had
in
to be the
podcasts
class,
and stuff. I've heard people use scrolls that they didn't know the
without any questions asked. Kind of.
Yeah, without knowing the school or anything.
Awesome. So cool. So I guess we get a scroll.
Nariah says, "You're going to want to use this scroll for the one night that you'll have to sleep in the jungle."
Very well. Well, thank you.
So she goes opens a footlocker. She's got about 5 scrolls that are in there, but she pulls one out and hands it to you. And it's laced with a bright blue ribbon. And she says, "Good luck on your endeavor."
We're going to Denver?
Yes!
Fuck yeah, weed.
Cat on skis.
She hands you the scroll and says, "Good luck with your endeavors." Now get the fuck out of here.
He's quietly going, "Fuck you guys."
I take a swig of my beer. Gladly.
All right, so you guys, you leave.
I should have hit on the hot scarred.
The government building.
I debated on hitting on her, but I didn't want to go for it. I've already hit on Timotero's wife.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, mom.
You leave the government building. You start to head out of town for. Yeah, still.
Might as well get going now.
Yeah.
Is the sun still up, or are we?
Yeah, sun's still up. It's barely even midday.
Okay.
Oh wow, we have lots of time.
Yeah, we crushed it this morning.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the town has a very big town feeling. The way it's built up and the way the buildings are, and all of the merchant quarters and the government quarters are all kind of like the core of the city. So it gives it this feeling that it's like a bunch of people live there, but all of the people live in the houses that just line the wall overlooking the lake and the river. I mean, outside of that, the population's not super huge, and the people who aren't the ones that live there are typically sailors that are here for a few days from the lake and they're back out. So it is a smaller town. So
cool.
You were able to hit all the places that you needed early in the day. All right, so you leave, as promised by Branden. 2 guards do accompany you guys out into the fields. They don't really accompany you all the way to the jungle. They accompany you till the end of the first days. Not even the end. Like, the sun starts about to set, and they turn back with enough time to get back before they'd have to camp, essentially. So, they didn't get you all the way to the jungle.
Good journey.
But they definitely escorted you as...
Out of town.
Yeah, out of town.
Nice.
And, so we have 3 days of travel. Each of you roll. Looking for a 19 or a 20.
Come on, D20. 15.
4.
Yeah, 3.
So nothing happens on your travels. The night that you guys are in the jungle, you guys put up camp. Macy helps you with the camp. You're still good on rations from that. They gave you enough to get you to Tavir, pretty much. You guys use that scroll for alarm?
Oh, I don't have it. Receive it. He did.
Malphaedor has it.
What's that?
The alarm scroll. Do
Yes.
you want to use it while we're in the jungle, or just set up watch? And
We'll set it up at the camp, which counts as a room, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. That lasts for how long?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Hopefully a long rest. It's like
not 8 hours. It's a useless spell.
Lasts for 15 minutes. Shit.
Let's see. Got some 30-foot range.
It lasts for 8 hours.
8 hours.
Oh, wait, one long rest out of this before someone's going to come bother us. Well, before we don't know.
A 20-foot cube. So you guys could camp with your backs up against something and then put it at the entryway. Yeah, so you guys camp next to a large tree. As soon as you guys get to the jungle, you start to see these trees, and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, like huge as you guys get closer into the city. And so you camp with your backs to the tree, and you put the alarm cube out in front of you. And about 3 hours into the night, the alarm goes off.
So, well, what time of day would this be? Would we already been asleep then?
Yeah, you would have already been asleep. Yeah.
All right.
Did you say like 3 in the morning?
Yeah, about 3 in the morning.
All right. How are we arranged, I guess? Does it show you the direction in which the pursuer or thing is?
Well, it's a 20-foot square, so yeah, you know pretty much right where it's at.
So, and we had our back to something, so we only see forward anyway.
Mm-hmm. And so Kevin starts growling, a pretty deep growl, and facing that way.
Cast light cantrip on my shield. See if I notice anything.
As I exit my tent, I take a large swig of my magic beer. I'm ready to dart.
Okay.
Aim my bow in the direction Kevin is growling.
Okay. So you aim your bow there, and as the light comes up and you start to see more, Macy also gets up and starts digging her pack. But you see a large spider-like creature standing there that seems to be almost kind of phasing in and out, and vanishing.
Phase spiders.
And Macy grabs one of the torches that was in her bag. She had wrapped something around it before tonight that you guys hadn't noticed when she had done it. She ran over, stuck it into the coals in the fire, and chucked it towards the monstrous spider, which was still phasing in and out, but it hit the spider, like right where it was at. The spider took a few steps back, and then she went and grabbed another torch out, and by then the spider had skittered off.
Glad we brought her.
I look over mildly daunted, drink more beer, and retreat back into my tent.
So she didn't...
With
yeah.
Oh, wait.
She didn't have enough time to light the second one, you know? I mean, you guys would have had time to react by the time she had done that. So she kind of took what was wrapped around it. But you noticed that whatever she had done made that thing light up with the quickness compared to most other torches.
Almost like an oil drag or something.
Or a spell.
Or maybe some cantrip type action.
She knows a little magic.
Be handy.
Ask her. She's your...
Yeah. So I'll walk the perimeter of the alarm spell to see if I spot any more in the area.
You know, the trees are really huge, so you assume maybe they might have come from above.
Yeah.
But you look around and you don't really see anything. And Kevin seems to have calmed down. But you finish looking over the perimeter, and you see Macy's drum of the fire back up. So the fire had kind of drummed down to basic coals. She's getting it stoked back up.
I walk up to her and say, "Well done. Have you encountered these sort of creatures before?"
No, but my mother had.
So you were very quick to action. I like your instincts.
Thank you, my lord.
The light from the fire in there chattering brings me out from my tent again.
Okay.
Just kind of join the group.
So
Still drinking pretty heavily. Because it's
Sounds right.
It's 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not closing time.
Yeah.
What am
Yeah. So I just kind of stand across from them, kind of look at a tree nearby.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of not making a lot of conversation, but just listening to them and
Okay.
actually practice. I just throw some darts at the tree. Like make a little knife etching on there.
Everybody's kind of awake now after the alarm goes off. And
So, where did you learn to use these torches like that?
It's a mixture my father taught me with some powders. I made some purchases when I got the Explorer's Pack.
Bit of an alchemist, then.
Not, I mean, I guess a little, my lord.
Oh, don't belittle your talents.
Would you like me to equip your torches with the mixture?
I think having a small cache of these prepared would be prudent.
Yeah. I highly recommend not leaving it next to the flint and steel in your...
Understandable.
Is it... I stop for a second from my practicing and kind of look over. What kind of mixture is it? Is it a towel or is it... It's just powder?
Yeah, it's just a powder that I add with a little bit of oil to my to the wraps around the top of the torch.
Oh, so it's got to be... It's got to be wrapped. Well, I was going to see if there's a way to put it on a dart.
Boom dust!
Yeah. There would be probably a way to put it on a dart, but it wouldn't be effective enough. It's mostly just a, highly flammable, but not like something...
Essentially, I was trying to make a hand-thrown bullet, but that's not really the way to do that.
Pack it in your blow dart.
I didn't buy one.
Oh. Put it in the blow gun.
Yeah, so there's not really a way for me to utilize it outside of the actual torch. Alright.
Alright.
I do Ingvald asked, do you have vials of this? Packets?
She pulls out a little cloth that was in a separate bag, like triple wrapped, essentially, and she opens it up, and there's, maybe a quarter of a pound of the powder left.
Alright. Sounds like a bomb to me.
I have something similar in my pack. I show her the vials of alchemist fire.
Throw them at the same time.
We gonna fucking get up!
Awesome. I continue practicing for another little while. I'm kind of restless.
But I'll take comfort in knowing that everything is under control, and I'll go back to sleep.
Alright, yeah. She's also letting out a couple big yawns, and she wants to go back to bed. Surprisingly, she likes to sleep a lot. Weird for a 15-year-old girl, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, after about an hour or two of just kind of restlessness, I go back to sleep.
Yeah, every morning so far, you guys have had a hell of a time trying to wake up Hobbes and Macy. Between the two of them.
I was out pretty much as soon as the spiders disappeared. Gone.
Curl back up.
Curl back up.
All right.
Using Kevin as a pillow, just out.
So you guys travel. You as you get closer to Tavir, you start to see a little bit of the city. The city is, it's buried really deep in the Tavir jungle. But you do start to notice that there are these super large white-barked trees that jut hundreds of feet into the air. Most of them are larger than, or wider than most buildings that were, the last couple towns that you were at. As you get closer to the city itself, you see that there are platforms and walkways that spiral up the outsides of these massive trees. And shelters appear to have been grown instead of carved into the different... you haven't seen any elves walking around, but you do understand that this is...
Elven territory. As we kind of walk through this forest and stuff, do I see any herbs or really interesting barks or plants and such?
Make a roll.
With survival, 19.
19, okay. Yeah, you find some awesome shit. So, I don't know, what would be some awesome shit to brew a beer with? You gotta help
I
me
mean,
out
there's
here.
really good barks you could get and make like a smoked stout or...
Yeah.
Let's see. We were talking about magic mushrooms, but you can find different types of herbs that would be doing fun stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
D&D. I don't know the names of any fancy D&D herbs.
I would say you found a few different items that were there. Yeah, I mean, kind of take your pick on
some magic
Yeah, that's a really good roll. So, yeah,
some magic.
we can look some stuff up and give me. You found 3 different ingredients. Give me ideas for those ingredients, and I'll tell you if any of them are overpowered. Cool.
Yep.
And we can figure it out for our next recording as to what kind of brew you're going to make. Okay, so upon arriving at the city, you find a couple of elves approach you, and they're not. I mean, they've got like they're lightly armored, I guess. They've got like some thicker clothing on, but they're definitely not in any kind of war gear, or they're not any kind of guards that you might see. They look like they are, outfitted to be running around outside, but not really for battle. And they say, "Greetings there, friends. How can we help you?"
I'm not going to talk. I have no charisma.
We are emissaries of GAG-ME, Cheddar.
Ah, you're here for the meeting.
Yes.
Very good. Follow us.
Thank you.
And so one turns to lead and motions you to follow, and the other steps behind you guys and kind of follows from behind. So you're kind of in between the two elves, both male elves. Both look younger.
Of course they do.
Yeah, kind of hard to tell. Elves. So they escort you up to one of the enormous tree pillars toward the center of the city. The path that leads up this tree is wide enough for two horses to walk up side by side comfortably. So it's like ancient, huge tree. But you're asked to leave your horses on the ground and continue on foot anyway, which is just more comfortable than taking horses up trees.
Right.
And then near the top of the tree is a platform is almost entirely surrounded by a thick hedge. So you pass several platforms that are wide open, that people are out on, that people are looking or talking or sitting in, reading or whatever the case may be. But this one platform that they stop you at is surrounded by a very thick hedge of bushes grown on a tree. And the elf that was leading you walks over to someone who's at the table, and they've got their back to you, and they appear to be reading something that's laid out across the table. After a few moments, that elf motions you over, and
figured I would wait patiently until we're summoned forward.
Okay, yep. So they motion you over, and the person who is standing over the map turns around and says, "Greetings."
Well met.
Greetings.
And it's a male elf, and says, "My name is Amiriel Questslinger."
Questslinger?
I hate most of them.
Big question mark floating above him.
Amiriel is, you recognize the name as the chief instructor of the Tavir GAG-ME group.
Okay.
All right.
So Amiriel motions for you to come around the table and nods a dismissal to the elf that escorted you up here and the elf that was behind you. And as you guys, go around this round table, you look back and you realize that Hobbes is gone.
Of course. This is becoming a thing. So, all right. So I will say to Amariel, we come with very dire news. We left Cheddar a week ago.
A week plus, yes.
In the company of Chief Instructor Munster and his personal entourage. But we were ambushed and beset shortly after we left. And I regret to inform you that Chief Instructor Munster is no more.
I am devastated to hear this news. What are your names?
This is Ingvald Porter Altbeir.
I still don't speak because of the whole, not good speaking thing.
And I am Malphaedor Bromroyo.
Malphaedor. Friend, welcome to Tavir.
I raise my glass.
Thank you.
Please have a seat. I will call our colleagues, the other people we're waiting for. They've been here for a couple days now, some of the other chief instructors. We will relay this news. We will come up with a plan together after that.
On the way passing through the nearby town of Tolli, we sent a couple of missives back to Cheddar to inform them of the events that had transpired.
Okay.
And checked in with the guild headquarters there. We were mandated by Chief Instructor Monster to accompany them to the assembly here in Tavir, so we continued on.
Yeah. No, that very well done. Very well done. We will assemble the chief instructors. We will recount your tale, and then we will make a decision from there.
Very good.
Very good. In the meantime, you can make yourself comfortable. I will have someone escort you to where you'll be staying for the evening.
Elven lodgings, elven wine.
and so he pops his head out, sees somebody who's standing out there, motions them, gives them some instructions, and then they come back to get you and escort you away.
Awesome. Where did the cat go?
Age-old question.
I'll reappear at their lodgings after they get there.
This concludes this episode of A Fool's Quest. Join us next time for more fun and daring adventure. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, review, and comment on your favorite platform to listen to A Fool's Quest.